a good looking bird. For a lot of people, making a holiday turkey is one of the hardest dishes you'll make all year. We're waiting. My name is Lauren, and I'm gonna take you through the process of making a simple, delicious oven roasted turkey. And hopefully have some fun along the way. All right, so it's important to have a rack, So it's important to have a rack inside your roasting pan. This is gonna lift the turkey up off of the pan, allow hot air to circulate around it, and it'll encourage even roasting. We're also gonna add 1 to 2 cups of broth to the pan. And what this is gonna do is it's going to keep the drippings from burning. And those drippings will then be used to make the gravy. If you don't have broth in here, they will likely burn and you'll have a really, interesting flavored gravy. So we have a couple of cups in there. That looks good. And then it's on to, do you want to truss or not to truss? So earlier we talked about removing the plastic truss. Trussing is really beautiful. It's probably what you see on the cover of magazines. It's gorgeous, but it makes the dark meat, and more particularly the thigh meat, cook slower than the rest of the bird. And dark meat already takes a little bit more time. So by not trussing, everything will cook a little bit more evenly. So now it's time to get it in the oven. We're gonna put it in at 325 for around 4 hours, and then we're gonna start checking the temperature. So you generally know how long your turkey is gonna take, but how do you know when it's actually done? You're gonna be using a thermometer to test that. And we have a couple of thermometers to go through. So first up are these plastic pop-up thermometers. They're not reliable. Oftentimes they pop up 20 degrees higher than what you want your turkey to actually be cooked to. They're supposed to pop up at 180, which is far too high for a good juicy turkey. And they're just not reliable. So I would not recommend these. The next thermometer is an infrared thermometer, and this just tests the surface of the turkey, which is not meaningful here. You want the internal temperature, so I would not use this. So our next thermometer is a dial thermometer, and this is a mechanical thermometer. You stick it in the turkey, and it takes a couple of minutes to come up to temperature. So what's happening is your oven door is open, leaching out a ton of hot air, and your turkey is essentially stopped roasting. So not a great option. Next up is a digital probe thermometer, and these are really great because you can stick it in the turkey, and this cord actually is oven safe. So it sticks out of the oven and it stays in the turkey the entire time it's roasting. So you can monitor it continuously. Great for large pieces of meat, especially a large bird like this. And you can even set it to have an alarm to alert you when it comes up to a specific temperature. And some even these days have an app, so it sends right to your phone. A great option is an instant read thermometer, and this is by far one of the most important things in my kitchen. It reads extremely quickly, and it also reads really accurately, and it's also more affordable than some of the higher end thermometers that do a similar thing. All right, and a really great option is a thermocouple. So if you are willing to spend some money, buy once, cry once, as my friend says, this is a great option. It reads things even faster than an instant read, and it's even more accurate because it has dual probes. It just makes it a more accurate thermometer. Great option if you want to spend some coin. When it comes to thermometers, there are a lot of options, and they all have their advantages. Well, except for the one that's on the floor. So choose the one that works best for you. It's gonna become your new best friend in the kitchen. So it's been about 3 hours. It's time to check the temperature. But I did take a peek at it, and it's looking golden brown and delicious. But I do have some foil on standby just in case it's getting too golden before the internal temperature is all finished. So we're gonna check the temperature and we'll determine then. Right. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. It's at 120, which is great. We're right on time, but it is getting kind of golden brown for how finished it is. So I'm gonna cover that with a little bit of foil. So just loosely tent it. It doesn't have to be tight. You don't want it to be tight or else it'll steam. And then you pop it in. All right, and then we're gonna let that keep cooking. We're gonna check it every 20 minutes or so until the internal temperature is around 150. So our turkey is roasting and we're waiting. So our turkey's roasting and we want it to come up to 150. So the USDA recommends you cook your turkey to 165, but there's a thing called carryover cooking. So you pull your turkey at 150, it's such a big piece of meat that it's gonna hold on to a lot of heat and it's gonna actually continue to cook to about 165. So instead of pulling the turkey at 165 and letting that carryover cooking taking it to 172 or 175, you're actually just gonna get ahead of that and make sure that it stays at the perfect temperature and stays nice and juicy. Now, a lot of people might say, well, cook it to 165, but baste it. So basting is just when you take this handy gadget and suck up the juice from the base of the roasting pan and then drizzle it over the turkey. The thought is that it's going to make for a juicier turkey, but what it actually does is it allows all that hot air to flood out of the oven when you open the door to do that, which is just killing your cooking. So you're having to then bring the oven back up and get the cooking started again, which is just gonna take your time from, let's say, 3 or 4 hours to potentially 5 or 6 hours. And then you're making that skin really moist with all those juices, and so you're really not gonna have any chance of having a crispy skin. So by using the brining method and melted butter on the skin, you get the best of both worlds. You get a juicy turkey and you get a crispy golden skin. So this year, let's keep this in the drawer. Okay, so we're gonna temp it one more time. Let's hope this is it. Okay, so she's at 150, which is perfect. I'm gonna pull her out. So it's 150 now, but as it rests, it'll actually increase in temperature to 165, which is the safe temperature for a large bird like this. So we're gonna take the foil off. Oh, look at her. Golden brown, she looks delicious, she smells great. We do have to let her rest for a little bit and then we can cut into it. So your turkey is juicy, delicious, and hot, but you can't serve it like this. So next up, I'll show you how to carve and serve your bird.